First, the bad news. SAP Business AI won't generate amusing holiday cards, but it will personalize career paths for your people and let you know which suppliers are best, so you can be ready for the next opportunity. Revolutionary technology, real-world results. That's SAP Business AI.
Welcome to the Instagram Stories Flash Briefing. It's Monday, which means that we review what head of Instagram Adam Mosseri said on his previous Ask Me Anything on Friday. Unfortunately, I forgot to download the clips before they disappeared. I'm human. This happens. I apologize. Here's some of what he talked about on Friday.
This week we've been thinking a lot about the mental health implications of this pandemic. There clearly are significant traditional health implications. There are enormous economic implications, which is why we've been doing so much to try and help small businesses through things like Support Small this week, but also ordering stickers, gift card stickers, etc. But it's more and more clear that there's also an enormous amount of mental health implications of the crisis. If you lose your job, if you're afraid of getting sick, if you're afraid that your kids are going to get sick, that creates stress and all sorts of issues around emotional and mental wellness. And we're not experts on that here at Instagram, but a lot of people do turn to Instagram for support. And so we have a responsibility to try and work out what we might do to help. And so I've been trying to talk to as many experts and professionals as I can, and I've had a bunch of interesting conversations over the last few weeks. And a number of things have jumped out as interesting. One is how stress seems to be at the core of so much of this. There's all sorts of things that might make you stressed about this current situation, and there's all sorts of different negative implications of having so much stress. But that really seems to be at the core of a lot, and helping people manage that stress is really critical. We've got some kids outside here. The other is that we need to help destigmatize asking for help. If you're lucky enough to have access to help, it's so important that you go out and you do that, and you take advantage of that, and you reach out. And so many of us are worried to do so because there's a stigma around the idea of needing help around mental wellness more broadly. And so we're trying to think about what we can do around connecting people with experts, around helping people get the support that they need, and around destigmatizing getting support in the first place. So expect to see more from us in the coming weeks.
Really glad that Instagram is addressing this stigma around asking for help when you need it, especially because if you spend so much time on their app, and that's part of the reason that you feel a certain way, it's up to them to address that concern. We do have one question from Adam Mosseri's Ask Me Anything. The question is, what can I do if someone's bullying me? Here's his answer.
It's important to stand up for yourself and to ask for help if you need it. And to the degree that the bullying might be happening on Instagram, you can, as of this week, control who can tag you and mention you. And I encourage you to look into Restrict, which tries to give you some more control of your messages and your comments as well.
The features that he's talking about allow you to delete up to 25 comments at once, and you can, of course, use the restrict option to prevent certain people's comments from being visible on your posts. Those are really important ways that Instagram has implemented very recently to prevent bullying from happening on the platform. That's it for today's news, but I am planning a session on Thursday evening to teach some of the basics of Instagram, getting started, what kind of account to select, personal, business, or creator, creating a bio, finding your first friends on Instagram, getting your first 100 followers, all those sorts of things I'm going to be talking about on a session Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. Send me a direct message at Daniel Hill Media, and I will send you all the registration information. Thanks for listening.